these guys, and they're all looking good.
All right, let's meet these two in the main event with Michael Buck.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, this next bout is sanctioned by the Arizona State Boxing Commission and the United States Boxing Association. USBA supervisor at ringside from the state of Louisiana is Mike Cusimano. The three judges for this bout will be Bob Cox, Howard Ritchie, and Joe Garcia. And now, ladies and gentlemen, from the La Mancha Hotel Resort here in Phoenix, Arizona, let's get ready to rumble. 12 rounds of boxing for the USBA Super Flyweight Championship. The referee for this bout is Al Munoz. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, he's wearing the red trunks and weighs an even 115 pounds from El Centro, California. His professional record, an excellent one, 19 victories, 11 by KO, only 3 defeats and 1 draw. Ladies and gentlemen, the challenger, Pablo Mulatto Valenzuela. And his opponent, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the black trunks with turquoise trim. He weighs an even 115 pounds also, from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Undefeated with a record of 17-0, 1 draw, 10 KOs. Ladies and gentlemen, he's the USBA Super Flyweight Champion, the baby face assassin, Johnny Tapia.
Down, compa. Okay, I already gave you the instructions. Ya le di las instrucciones, so sabe. La compa no lo salva ni el 12th round. 12th round, you're not safe with the belt, okay? Ya sabe. Shake hands, let's come on fight, Gary.
There's a look at Johnny Tapia. He's traded in Tap for the baby-faced assassin.
Well, probably a good trade.
And Pablo Valenzuela with 11 knockouts. So as we said, Tapia in there with a guy who can hit.
And I mentioned, of course, how tall Valenzuela is. You'll see that he will have a little height or be certainly as tall as Johnny Tapia. Well, close. He's a little taller. He's about 2 inches taller than Tapia.
Tapia starts him out with a good left hand.
Tapia's last fight against Roland Gomez, in which we saw him win the USBA title here on ESPN, as nice a performance as he could have possibly wanted. And what a response he got back in Albuquerque, and I know they're watching back there now. When he got back, it was a hero's welcome.
Great sports town, Albuquerque, New Mexico. And they really have somebody to rally behind now in Johnny Tapia.
There was another ESPN fighter some years back on ESPN, Tommy Cordova, who came from that town and created quite a stir for a couple of years. Good jab by Tapia. Wow.
Down goes Valenzuela just right now.
That's the first time he has ever been down in his professional career. So, as quickly as that, Valenzuela looks just very tight here, Barry.
Yeah, and I think that's what it was. I didn't get the sense he was really hurt by that.
He's just very tight in here.
Tapia jumps right on him. Got him with the right hand.
Well, it's a misnomer to think that Johnny Tapia is just a boxer, and you can see that. He's got power. And I think it was the left hook that hurt Valenzuela, not even the right hand. There's another one.
Tapia's setting down on his punches nicely.
Well, you would look at this first round and think that Valenzuela came in here with no chance. That's not true.
Another right hand.
But he certainly is looking that way right now.
Puts Valenzuela, and there's a headbutt and a cut.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I don't believe I see a cut, though. I don't think that cut.
It looked like there might be, but the vision of Johnny Tapia might have been a little obscured because that hurt him.
Started to say it puts Valenzuela in a very tough. Another shot with a left hand drives Valenzuela back again. Puts him in a tough position because he's right out of the box now. He's got to play catch up.
Oh, yeah, and that was a jab that hurt him. And, of course, this is a 10-8 round. And as you say, that's a tough burden.
The cut, incidentally, is over Valenzuela's eye, not over Tapia's. So that was the result of the butt.
The question is, was it an accidental clash of heads?
That is the kind of cut that can get to be nasty. It is above the left eye.
And it'll be up to the referee, Al Munoz, to make a ruling on that. They did clash heads.
End of the first round, a huge round for Johnny Tapia, and big problems in the corner of Pablo Valenzuela. Let's bring in Michael Carbajal. We talk about Tapia being a hero in Albuquerque. Nobody's a bigger hero in this town than the man on my right, Michael Carbajal. You got the biggest hand of the night so far, Michael. Let me first of all get your impression of the first round. Big round for Tapia.
Oh yes, I think he came out very strong. Like you said, I think Pablo is he seems real slow. He's real tight, and Johnny just overpowered him in the first round.
We were saying earlier that he's in a very similar situation than you were last week, and that is you can't overlook this guy to worry about what might be coming down the road. Tapia's in that same spot.
That's right. It seems like Johnny's, he's real concentrated on this fight, and he seemed pretty strong in that first round, so I don't think he has a problem with that.
Strong to be sure, and there's the hook that sent Valenzuela down. Here's where we get a clash of heads. Well, that to me is an accidental clash of heads. I don't see that as a butt, and it created a cut over the left eye of Valenzuela.
Michael, you must be glad to have that fight behind you now. Now you can worry about the championship fight.
Oh yes, that's what I'm concentrating on. I'm very excited about it.
It's great to have it in your hometown too, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Taking on Kid Kasem for the World Championship. When is that, July?
29th.
July 29th.
Tapia picking up right where he left off. Momentarily, they've stopped the bleeding over the left eye, but it is a pretty bad cut.
Now, if this fight should be stopped because of that cut and they rule it as a clash of heads, it could be they would have to go to the scorecards after the third round. But before the third round, it could be a technical draw or no contest.
Right hand hurt Valenzuela again. Tapia showing good power on both hands so far. And Valenzuela walked right into a Tapia right hand again.
Why does it seem like that headbutt rule changes about every 4 days, Barry?
Yeah, it really does.
Sometimes it's
and in
half.
every city.
Yeah, in every city, and these are, supposedly IBF rules, USBA rules. I don't know. Tapia is so quick. Michael, you fought Tapia in the amateurs. What are his strengths? What do you see as his strengths?
Well, he's very quick. I don't remember the fight too much. It's been a while, and he's very quick, and I think he's too quick for Valenzuela.
Some talk that he could, if you move up in weight, you might end up facing Johnny Tapia.
Yeah, that would be a good fight. It'll be a ways from now because I won't be moving up to 114 for a while.
One title at a time, huh?
Yeah. Good right hand by Tapia. He's being very impressive early in this fight.
Well, this is just an extension of his fight with Roland Gomez, where he did everything right.
A little bit short with that right hand.
Tapia is so quick with that right hand. He gets it home so fast. And use it as a lead right or after the jab.
And you could almost see him trying to time Valenzuela leaning in, which he does. Got him with the right hand again. So pretty much more of same for Johnny Tapia in complete charge of this fight. We'll be back.
Before you hit the road,
you buy Roundup kills weeds better than Roundup.
Here is Johnny Tapia's right hand. I mentioned it as a lead right hand, and there it is. Very quick.
Barry Tompkins, Al Bernstein, and Michael Carbajal has joined us here to watch the first part of this fight. And it is a fight that has been owned from the opening bell by Johnny Tapia. Take a look at the numbers through the first 2 rounds. Valenzuela actually threw a number of punches, but look at the effectiveness of Tapia.
Yeah, very poor accuracy by Valenzuela, and part of that is because Tapia has kept him on the end of that jab and at long range.
Michael, it's got to be, and we talked about this earlier, but it's got to be very gratifying to you that there are some very attractive and potentially big money fights now in your division and one division higher.
Oh yes, there's a lot of talent in our lower weight classes, and it's showing out. Just by Tapia, you got Scotty Olsen, myself, and you got plenty more that are going to be coming up.
Michael, we want to thank you for taking the time to visit with us, and we'll look for you on the 29th of July.
Okay, thank you.
Wish you the best. Michael Carbajal with a championship shot. First Olympian to have a title shot, July 29th.
In Munjai Kitakesum.
You've been practicing that name.
I've said it correct now 3 straight times. A couple times last week, a couple times this weekend.
A couple times at home.
In front of the mirror. Johnny Tapia winning 2017 on the strength of a 2-point first round when he had a knockdown, and then, of course, winning the last round as well.
Is it hot enough here in Phoenix today?
Yeah, oh, yes. About 110, would you say?
I think a little bit, even more than that, I think. 116.
116, wow.
It was hot. Good right hand by Tapia again.
And he is doubling up with that hook to the body. Look at the hand speed of Johnny Tapia. Uh-oh, I think he might have gotten hit again with a head or something in the eye.
And he backed off in a hurry. He's just trying to get him out of there, and down he goes.
Wow.
Remember, this is a man that has never been off his feet.
What an assault by Tapia. He's mad. Johnny Tapia is mad because of what he perceives as the headbutt.
Yeah, he just doesn't want to fool with this any longer.
And he's not a fighter who fights on emotion alone. Johnny Tapia is a technician. That's why it's interesting to see this happen.
He is just awfully sharp tonight. Valenzuela still doesn't have his legs under him.
No, it's hot outside, and I'll tell you what, Johnny Tapia heating things up inside. He has just been relentless here in this 3rd round.
Very effective the whole fight. I don't care who he's fighting. He's been really impressive. Good right hand again. Valenzuela's ready to go again. And a 3-punch combination, and Tapia jumps on him, and I think that's it.
Well, they didn't stop it, but they might in between rounds. What body shots by Tapia. I mean, he leveled him with that left hook to the body. It's going to take a darn good fighter to beat Johnny Tapia. Here's the knockdown. Good straight right hand.
Doing exactly what we talked about. He timed Valenzuela leaning in.
And the way he finishes off these combinations is impressive. This was at the end of the round. Now, how he stayed up under this, I don't know. And then you're going to see a left hook to the body. That was just a dynamite punch. Really an all-world performance by Johnny Tapia.
Well, Johnny Tapia has done everything right so far.
Go crazy. Take your shot.
And I don't think that we'll go too far with this fight.
No, at the end of that last round, Valenzuela was really hurt. Johnny Tapia looking at the glove of Valenzuela, concerned because already he's been hit with a couple of heads in this fight. And by the way, that first, the clash of heads that created the cut was ruled by the referee, we are told, as an accidental clash of heads. Had this fight been stopped prior to the 3rd round, it would have been a technical draw. Now, if it would be stopped because of that cut, they would go to the scorecard.
Valenzuela got there with the right hand for the first time.
Maybe his best punch of the fight. And Michael Carbajal and his brother Danny admitted in the first 2 rounds of his fight last week he was looking ahead a little bit and didn't fight as well as he could, and then got it together. Johnny Tapia has not had that problem at any point. Good right, that hurt Tapia.
Tapia holds on.
That hurt him, that uppercut. Wow. I mean, that really staggered him.
Oh, right hand and a left behind it. It almost knocked Valenzuela off his feet.
Well, I don't know what kept Valenzuela up at that point.
A lot of big punches in this fight.
Yes, after he had hurt Tapia with the uppercut. A lot of subplots here. They look at the cut, which, as I said, if the fight would be stopped for that at this point, they would have to go to the scorecards, which would certainly create a Johnny Tapia victory.
That cut is not any worse than it was when it happened. It's still a pretty nasty cut, but the bleeding is not any worse than it was in the first round.
Don't wait, come on. There you go.
Now remember, they believe, Valenzuela and his people, that Tapia will tire as this fight goes on. I don't know if that's true, but maybe they feel if their man can just hang in there. And we saw some of it. There's the uppercut again, getting through to Tapia.
And Tapia in retreat now. Not a bad round, by and large, for Valenzuela, but Tapia got his share also.
The difference probably is that Tapia is landing so many more punches. You know, Valenzuela got a couple of good ones in.
Boy, awfully close to another headbutt there. Good body shot by Tapia.
They bang heads again.
Right on that eye, too.
Tapia showing a little more respect for Valenzuela now, not rushing in as he was in the third round.
Tapia holding on.
Look how he finishes off combinations. He missed with that left hook, but you can see Tapia a well-schooled fighter.
Body shot and a left to the head. Very entertaining round. We'll be back.
There is a better battery.
Just as good in slow motion and confirms our feeling that Tapia felt that punch and held on. See another angle of it. That landed flush on the jaw of Johnny Tapia, and give Tapia credit for withstanding that.
We start the fifth round. And again, we go back to something Al Bernstein pointed out, the fact that the strategy in the corner of Pablo Valenzuela was to take this fight into the later rounds if possible.
The only thing is, I don't think they anticipated this much punishment being accepted prior to it. Oh.
Tapia, busy and effective.
And in the last fight he had a connect percentage that was very, very high, right around 50%.
Good right hand set up by two jabs and a huge right hand by Tapia. And Valenzuela's still there.
And you know, Johnny Tapia has landed some very, very big shots. And not just one shot, but combinations. Should knock a man out. I think early in the fight, Valenzuela's problem was he was so tight. They continue to bang heads in there.
Yeah, you can really see now Valenzuela is into this fight. And he really was tight at the beginning, and it really shows now.
Yeah, he's still getting beaten to the punch by Tapia, but at least he is competitive.
Oh, great jab. Again, another good shot, and again, Valenzuela's in a little trouble.
Johnny Tapia has one bad habit. Sometimes he tends to go straight back and put his hands down when an opponent goes after him. And that can be very dangerous as he moves up in class.
Double left hand, and down goes Valenzuela.
A beautiful double left hook by Tapia, and this one's over.
That's it. Boy, what a combination.
And I'll tell you what, as you look at Johnny Tapia, embraced by Paul Chavez, if you wonder, is boxing a sport or is it just a couple of guys banging away at each other? Johnny Tapia showed you that fundamentals win in boxing just like they win in baseball, football, and basketball. When you're in that position and you double up with that left hook, you got a great shot of the knockout. That's exactly what happened. He won because he doubled up beautifully with that left hook. And this young man's still down and still hurt.
But he is conscious, and now he jumps up. He was talking with his trainers and handlers.
And we had mentioned to you earlier, good show of sportsmanship by Johnny Tapia. He was a little angry earlier about some tactics, but shows what kind of guy he is. We mentioned that Valenzuela had never been knocked out as a pro. He is going to be here. Now here you can see double left hooks. There it is. Triple left hook, really.
Yeah, it was.
And those were good, fundamentally sound left hands. There it is. There's the hook that hurt him, and he comes right back with it. Excellent performance by Johnny Tapia.
Very good performance. Let's get the official word now from Michael Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Al Munoz calls a halt to this bout at 2 minutes, 36 seconds of the 5th round. The winner by knockout victory. That's his 11th KO, his 18th victory. He's still USBA Super Flyweight Champion, the baby-faced assassin, Johnny Tapia.
So Johnny Tapia will now look to make the belt bigger and better as he's